Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome everyone to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And we are here with MorningStar Senior Living, who has been an amazing supporter of our program because they are so much in alignment with what Answers for Elders is about. And we are always looking for the cream of the crop in our industry. And I know that if you're listening to our show a lot, you have probably heard some of their podcasts. And we have a special treat today because one of the people that kind of is at the foundation of why MorningStar is so amazing is Brittany Fleshman, and she's the Vice President of Culture and Program Development for MorningStar Senior Living. And Brittany, you were in the corporate office in Colorado, which you've been there forever and ever in your life. So Brittany, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here too. And you know, one of the things that always has impressed me about MorningStar is the foundational vision of who you are. And we've touched on it in previous, interviews with other people, but you're kind of the go-to person on how employees are treated, how residents are treated, what your mission and vision is. And I'm sure you're kind of the one that works directly with, Ken Yeager, the president, CEO, founder, on making sure that his vision is carried through. Is that correct? A lot of the ways in which the reason why MorningStar was founded.
Absolutely. You've nailed it.
So Brittany, tell me a little bit, can we just revisit, because I know we've talked about it before, but I would love to have you share with us a little bit about just kind of the overall vision of MorningStar and who you are.
Sure, absolutely. Graduating from Colorado State University in Human Development and Family Studies, I kind of honed in on gerontology. So when I graduated, I did my research ins and outs of all the industries, but especially senior living. And I came across MorningStar and absolutely fell in love with what you just said, the mission, the core values, that foundation, and kind of putting that into example, are our core values, and that is love, honesty, kindness, goodness, fairness, and respect. And that really drew me in right then and there. I want to be a part of a company that those are our core values, and they're on everything from their new hire paperwork to when our residents move in, and our Radiance program, which is our customer service hospitality initiative. And so when it comes to our three principles, they are honor God in our business practices and relationships. We invest generously in our team's ability to serve well, and we value all seniors as gifted and contributing individuals. So when you look at those core values and you see our three principles, they really solidify with each other. And I think that's what makes us so different from our competitors. And it's nothing we hide. One of my favorite quotes actually comes from David Green, the CEO and founder of Hobby Lobby. And he just says, we attract who we want by being open about who we are. And we are very open about who we are, and we're very proud of who we are. And I think it's said a lot with our growth in the last 20 years, almost 20 years. So we draw in the best of the best. We hire for heart. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Hire for heart. And, that's one thing that I know about so many people in this industry is they get into it because a lot of times it's a life-changing experience in their life that they want to care. They want to make their life stand for something more than just a day-to-day job, And what are you finding when you have this kind of mission out there? How is it received amongst, the people that visit your communities?
Absolutely. That's a great question. Looking back on a lot of studies recently when it comes to culture across, again, all industries, that culture is a buzzword. And if your company is not talking about culture, you are behind the curve right now. So yes, in our all industries, but especially in our company, we've got baby boomers that are working. We've got Gen X, millennials, and now we're seeing a huge population in Gen Zs. And it's funny because the Generation Z, they're really looking for, I don't want to come and, clock in and clock out and do a job and get a paycheck. They're looking, what can I do to better society, to better this world? And of course, what we get to do with our seniors nails it on the head, that we get to give human beings who need assistance, we get to give them the best quality of care that we possibly can.
Sure.
So I think that draws them in a lot.
Well, and it's interesting because I'm seeing that as well, as far as coming into a culture or a company. And, it's funny, even in my own family, I have a nephew who, he is doing great in the corporate world right now, but he really wants, in the worst way, to get into senior living in marketing, because he's a sales, person. And he has that heart. And he goes, and I asked him, he goes, well, Suzanne, obviously a lot of it is the work that I do, because I'm his aunt, right? But the other thing is that he really finds that he wants to make a difference in the world. And I think that we are getting a new generation. He's in his 20s. We're getting this new generation of people that, young people that are saying, it's not just about a paycheck anymore. It's about, feeling good when you go to work every day and know that you've touched the heart of people, and you've been, you've made a difference, and you're starting to create this legacy when you're younger. And I can only imagine, as that evolves, that legacy evolves, that we're going to be starting to see some amazing growth through all of this, as far as a culture in society. And it's so funny that you're saying this, because I was just having a conversation yesterday. Believe it or not, yesterday, when I said, I was talking to, we were in a business location, and I said, I don't understand why, especially with this economy the way it is, why more companies don't take a stand for something that's greater than themselves. Absolutely. And put it out there, but they don't. A lot of times businesses haven't caught up to that yet. You guys really have. Yes. And that's a testament to you, who you are. So if I'm a resident, and obviously, you have this amazing vision, and you said it again, but these core principles. One of the things that I'm really struck by is your inclusiveness. Even though you are a Christian-based organization, you've been very inclusive with people that come from all faiths that come into your communities. And that's something that's really honorable as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. And yes, honor God in our business practice and relationships is very important to us, but we really hone in on two things that we say you have to have in order to work for Morningstar. And it's that you do the right thing, whether somebody's watching you or not, and you treat people how you want to be treated. Now, that is in a lot of different religions too, but those are just the golden rules, I feel like, in the universe. And, when it comes to our interview process, that's what we hire for. And like you said, and I said earlier, we hire for heart, and we can train you in everything else. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, a textbook and a degree did not teach me how to shower, a 9-year-old. I had to learn. And, but they hired for my heart, and that's what we do. We love to make sure that people want to serve others and give them a better, safer quality of life.
Absolutely.
That is our top priority.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also think too, is quality of life for but that extends to the residents. Yes. And so obviously I want to talk a lot about the residents in our next segment, but I want to really zero in again on culture. Now, you teach culture within your organization, which is another thing. People just don't go into your organization and say, I'm going to go to work for Morningstar. There's a whole culture, and I use the word indoctrination because I'm trying to think, but just really orientation of being a part of something that's great.
Absolutely. And, like I said earlier, we call it Radiance, but it really is just a customer service hospitality initiative. And I think many people can agree with me that in almost 2023, across all industries, people have gotten rid of customer service. And that makes no sense, because when you give great service, people want to come back. They want to be with you. And of course, everyone wants to be treated well. And that is our goal, that yes, this is probably not the first number one place our residents want to be, but we want to make it the best best place possible for whatever their needs are. And that's why I love our Radiance program, because we teach our team members how to do that, how to live it out, and how to serve.
Well, and it's also, that mindset of, I'm here to serve. I think especially, there's been times that I've seen where this culture in this country has turned into such an attitude of entitlement at times. People think, I want this fast. I have fast food. I'm entitled to, all these different types of things. And there, I'm a boomer, so obviously I grew up a little bit different, that you work hard for things. I have not seen that oftentimes in later generations. I think in many cases, just because everything is so accessible, the internet, they can get anything off of anything, they can buy something online. Things come easy to, a younger generation to really shift that mindset into really putting a focus on, what is most important and why am I here? And I'm here to serve. And I think that is amazing.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah. So, Brittany, you have how many communities across the country? Tell us a little bit before we get into the next segment about your communities.
Absolutely. So we have 31 communities right now. We're mostly in the West. And we're about to be hopefully about 10 to 15 more communities in the next 3 to 5 years. So there's some massive growth. When I started the company 14 years ago, we only had 3 communities. And so we're growing really, really quick, and which is a fun thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know, it's if people are interested in a MorningStar culture and a MorningStar community, you have communities throughout the West Coast. I know Washington, Oregon, and California. I know that you're based in Colorado, so you have, and I know that there's actually one down in Texas. So there's several that you're doing, and it's really, really exciting. So, Brittany, how do people reach you?
Absolutely. I think the best place to go, of course, is MorningStarSeniorLiving.com. We are constantly updating those on our new builds, what we already have standing. And then that's also where you can find a lot of our openings for jobs. Same with LinkedIn. That's a great avenue to use too.
Yes.
So we're constantly looking for people with our growth. It's really fun.
Well, I know that my nephew has interviewed with your Kirkland community, and I'm hoping one day there'll be a spot for him. He is pretty exceptional. And I know that there's a lot of times, opportunities in an organization like yours that is growing so quickly. So again, Brittany, thank you for being with us. And she is going to be back. You're going to be back with us in our next segment. And Brittany and I are going to talk about the people that live in their communities right after this. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at AnswersForElders.com.